Morning, man. I just left work. Just did a 24-hour shift. The next week is gonna be really rough because I'm going to be doing multiple 48-hour shifts. So the next 2 weeks are going to be just about hell. And I kind of wanted to make this video just to talk about how I balanced going to work when I had multiple jobs and building the muscle when I was really skinny. When I built my first chunk of muscle, it was during a time where I was being a busboy. I was a soccer coach for like an after school program, and I was doing like DoorDash and like Uber Eats. And back at that time, I had to walk. So I was walking people's delivery while they were snugged in bed. I was walking their food to them, their pizza, their fucking Chinese food. And, they'd give me like a 50-cent tip and I'd get like $1 for doing each delivery. So it was terrible ROI, but I had to do what I had to do. And I had a client tell me that he feels like he doesn't have enough time, right? And what you'll start to notice once you do get in shape, once you do follow my advice, once you actually are able to bench 2 plates and have the muscles and the girls start coming, all that stuff that comes with having a good physique, is that you'll start to lose your respect for people's excuses. I find it very hard to hear some of my clients' excuses because I went through it. I'm still going through it. My job as a firefighter, my job as being a fiance, a dad, all those things, a son, a brother, all these things add up. And you start to lose that empathy and that feel for people's excuses when they tell you, oh, I can't eat enough, or I don't have enough time to make my food. So I'm going to tell you about how I got in shape and how I did it, how I balanced it. Number one, everything starts with mindset. I hate how demonized courses are and how demonized mindset is. Mindset is 100% the first step. It's so damn important. And the reason a lot of people don't like to hear mindset, right? A lot of the people who are going to continue to be weak little bitches, they've already clicked off of the video, or they've already commented down below about how, oh, this doesn't work. Well, right? People they look for ways to get out of the work, right? They can't focus on a 15-minute video. Mindset is more important because you have to shift mindsets to becoming a new person. The old version of me told myself I didn't have time, or I didn't have a haircut, so I can't approach that girl, or I'm scared. I had to shift into a new mindset. The new mindset was, I'm going to go to work. I'm going to bust my ass at this busboy job because that was paying me the most. Then I'm going to go to the gym. Then I'm going to sleep for a few hours. And then I'm going to go to my after school soccer coaching job that I had to do for a few hours. And then I'm going to leave there. I'm going to walk and deliver food until I get back home, and then take a quick shower and work at that job. I get there early. Sometimes I take a nap there because I was early, so I take like a little half an hour, 45-minute nap before starting work. And before starting having to actually do the work, I'd go downstairs in one of the chairs or whatever, and I'd take a nap. And it just became a thing. And like, people just, the guys who would get there early, like there was head bus boy, his name was Danny. He'd get there before, a little bit after me, and he started chopping the limes and the fruits and all that stuff. So he just, it just became a thing that happened. And none of it would have happened if it weren't for mindset. It takes a different type of mindset to say, screw this, I'm going to go to the gym. Screw whatever it is, I'm going to make it a priority. I'm going to fit it into my schedule. I'm going to figure out how to do it. Now, at that time, I wasn't going to the gym doing full body workouts like I like to enjoy now, where I go for like 2 hours or whatever. But at that time, it was, we're going to get a 45-minute workout, and I'm going to get in there and get out. I'm going to bang it out and do what I got to do. It would be sometimes that I would do 2 times a day because I felt like I went to the gym, I wasn't putting enough effort, and I put in like 20 minutes in the gym. I was like, I'm going to leave, I'm tired. And then I would go back later on and I'd do another 20 minutes, 25 minutes. Like, I was that dedicated. And it all started from my mindset. I had to tap into the identity of who I wanted to be, not who I was right now. Who I was in the moment was the complainer, the broke ass, ugly ass,
no arm, complaining as dude. That's who I was, right? And that wasn't going to change unless I started doing the things that the future me required. Future Ricky needed me to work out. Future Ricky needed me to make the gym a priority. And I could have made some adjustments in how I schedule it in time. Right now, hindsight, I didn't even need to put in that much effort. I could have made a lot of those gains with even less effort. But now I have that. Now I have the program where I teach guys this, and I've made all those mistakes so that way my clients don't have to. And I mean, that's honestly what they're paying you for, right? Because anybody can go to ChatGPT and say, give me a workout. That's easy. The accountability and this shortcut and this speed ramp into what actually works for people like me is what's the valuable part, right? So another thing that had to happen was that I had to be consistent, right? If I didn't have the mindset, I couldn't be consistent. Everything connects to each other. I had to be consistent, and I'm sorry if I'm not giving you enough eye contact. I know a lot of you like to goon off and make eye contact, but I'm driving home, so from a long, rough shift. I had to be consistent, and consistent didn't mean that I needed to be 100% consistent. I just need to be like 80% consistent. I just need to like show up most of the time. I just need to get there and do most of the workout. Sometimes like I said, I would leave early because I was tired or I feel like I didn't have the energy, and I didn't give it my all. I didn't give it 100%. I didn't 100%. I didn't do that. I would go there and I'd be like, oh, fuck, I'm tired. But I would take my time, do my form correctly. Sometimes I'd ego lift a little bit. I was in the beginning stages. I didn't really have anyone to teach me yet. I didn't get a mentor yet. I didn't get a trainer yet. And that came later on. But I had to be consistent. I had to just keep going. There would be times where I would look in the mirror and I would be like, this is not working. There would be times where I would be eating my tuna avocado, because that was like a big meal for me, where I have milk with my protein shakes with olive oil, and I would have tuna and avocado. So I had canned tuna and avocado, and back then I didn't think that I could have seasoning. I thought seasoning would mess up my gains. This is how dumb I was. I thought seasoning would mess up my gains. That's fucking hilarious. So I didn't season anything, all right? So I didn't put like salt and on my avocado or like any pepper on my tuna. Like I didn't do anything. Everything, I had a lot of like just like things how they were. It was like if I had ice cream, it was like no sprinkles. Like it was like like I was fucking stupid. Oh man, I probably still am stupid, but I was extra stupid back then. So bonk. But I would be eating my tuna avocado right in my basement apartment in the outskirts of Queens, and I'd be leaned over my counter, over the sink, just over the sink, my little sink, and I'd be eating the tuna, and then I eat the avocado slice, and then I drink my protein shake, and good Lord, it was awful. And I was like, I need to throw up. Like there was so many times where I was like, I need to throw up. Like I'm fucked. Like I can't do this shit. And I'm like, I'm not gonna eat like this anymore. I'm gonna eat like how I used to. I'm just gonna eat when I feel like it, eat whatever I want. Because people were telling me that back then. It was a big misconception on what actually made gains and what lean bulk was. I didn't know what it was. And so people would tell me, eat whatever you want. You're skinny. Your metabolism is fast. So, you can just eat whatever you want. Like, they didn't understand how to structure a correct diet for someone with a fast metabolism, for someone who didn't put on calories or put on weight easily. Everything was hard. So I was just in hard mode for a long time. So I was consistently in hard mode. And I remember one time where I'm eating the food, and then I fucking throw up in my mouth. The correct healthy thing would have been to just let it out, because whatever I was doing, however I was doing, was not right. I should have just let it out and just started all over. But the nut job in me, the obsession in me, said, you're gonna lose your gains. So guess what I did? You already know what I did. You already knew from what I told you from the beginning. You knew exactly what was going to happen. You know exactly what I was going to say. I shoved that shit the fuck back down, because I was like, I'm broke. So I need all the protein I can get, because if I let any of this food out, I have to eat again. If I have to eat again, that's gonna mess up the portions and the dollar cost averaging that I had planned out, right? I had like my meals and my money planned out. I was on a fixed freaking income. A lot of you guys are like, oh man, I'm broke. I don't have any money to do this, but you spend money on takeout and pizza, so you don't know how to budget. A lot of you, like, if you have a normal job that pays minimum wage, if it's not enough, get a fucking second job. You fucking man. You're a man. Get a second fucking job. A job you don't like, a job that sucks. You fucking interview and tell them that this is the job you really want, and you freaking you couldn't imagine doing anything else but flipping fucking burgers, you know? You couldn't imagine doing anything but flipping burgers. The missus is calling, so I'm gonna have to call her back in a second. Make this video short. That's it. I'll just give you two things, right? You gotta put in the extra effort to make your dreams come true, to put things together. Okay? So I just wanted a quick rant, quick video. If you need help with getting in shape, if you're like me, you couldn't bench 2 plates, you couldn't do pull-ups, you couldn't put on weight, and you need the correct type of training, I've mastered it. I've mastered bulking and lean bulking, all right? I've mastered putting on size. I've mastered looking good. I mean, I've mastered attracting women. I've done the entire thing. I've mastered... Listen, point is, if you need help with this shit, which almost everyone does, but it's hard for us to admit, click whatever the hell link I got down there, and I will help you out. You can also DM me. Just DM me blueprints, and I will automatically send you the blueprint to getting in fucking shape. Until next time.